Hello and welcome to this edition of Your Questions Answered by Father Gruner. I'm John Veneri. In this program, we take the questions that you send us via email. Father Gruner answers them and we talk about them. And keep them coming, please. Questions at thefatimacenter.com. We have a question here. It's a number of questions, really, about the Brown Scapular and especially the Green Scapular. Here's what it says. I've read and heard much about the Brown Scapular, which I'm enrolled. I don't hear much about the Green Scapular of the Immaculate Heart of Mary. I noticed that some websites and booklets have a list of promises and benefits, including assurance of a happy death, protection from Satan for those who wear or promote its use, and strengthening of the faith for those already within the church. Other booklets and websites just talk about conversions and cures. My question is, are these promises and benefits true? And if so, is not the assurance of a happy death promised the same as that of the Brown Scapular? And lastly, why is Brown Scapular more widely promoted than Green Scapular?
Well, I think a little bit of history might help. A little bit of, first of all, the oldest scapular in the church, and the first one is the Brown Scapular. Now we promote at the Fatima Center the Brown Scapular and the Green Scapular. In fact, we would promote all the scapulars of the church, but those are two that we promote especially.
And I think they're the most popular.
It could be. I mean, certainly I wear the five-fold scapular, which includes the Brown Scapular, and the Scapular of the Passion, and the Scapular of the Immaculate Conception, and the Seven Sorrows of Our Lady as well. But to answer the question here, first of all, why is it more better known? Because it is more widely promoted, because it's older, and because the promises are it's a very striking promise. Our Lady says to St. Simon Stock that, receive the scapular, it shall be a sign of salvation, a protection in danger, and a pledge of peace. Whosoever dies wearing the scapular shall not suffer eternal fire. So it's very precise. Our Lady has worked many miracles, not that she hasn't worked miracles in other scapulars, worked many miracles in proving this. We have a booklet explaining this, it's on the Brown Scapular. We give it away free to anyone who asks for it. If they just write to us for it, we're happy to send it to them. And so the Brown Scapular was held up by Our Lady of Fatima in her hand during the Miracle of the Sun. It's the only scapular. She held up the rosary, she held up the scapular. As Sister Lucy has explained, the rosary and scapular go together. There has been the Brown Scapular, but people wearing the Brown Scapular, they find, it's been my experience also, that by wearing the scapular all the time, you find it easier to pray your 5 decades of the rosary every day. Before I put the Brown Scapular back in 65, I wasn't praying my rosary every day. Some weeks after I put it on, I noticed I was doing that almost every day, to this day. So there are graces attached to the Brown Scapular, which I'm sure there are other graces attached to other scapulars, but this has been, you might say it's been around a long time. Saints, you can read Saint Claude Colombert on the scapular, read Saint Alphonsus, all these saints. The scapular of St. John Bosco is intact in his tomb, even though his body disintegrated, his scapular is entire. So I would say that certainly if I had to promote one, it would be the Brown Scapular. The Green Scapular was founded, the Brown Scapular was given by Our Lady of St. Simon Stock in 1251 AD. And the Green Scapular was given, I think, in 1838, if I'm not mistaken, to assist Saint, she's not a saint as far as I know, but a sister of the congregation of the religious, Congregation for the Missions, I should say, founded by Saint Vincent de Paul. And it was, the purpose of the Green Scapular was more for people who, there are people who, today we have a secular, and it goes back to the 19th century, people who don't want to hear about God, they don't want to hear about religion, they don't even talk about it, don't even talk to me about it, just go away. So the Green Scapular is designed for people like that. That is, you can give it to them without giving it to them. That is, you can put it under their bedclothes. You put it under their bed. You can put it in their house somewhere. They don't even know it's there. Our Lady promises to, and if you say the prayer for them, the prayer on it which says, Immaculate Heart of Mary, pray for us now and at the hour of our death, it can be applied to them. And Our Lady promises, so by making this act, it's in benefit of Our Lady's merits and benefit of Our Lady's promise, that by you giving a Green Scapular even to those who don't want it, even in a way they don't even know they've got it, Our Lady promises to give them graces that you can't put a Brown Scapular on the head. You can actually hold them and lock them down, but you can't really enroll them.
Well received.
You can't do that unless they don't voluntarily receive it. But they can receive the Green Scapular without having their will involved at all. Okay, I think that's the big difference between the two.
Well, that's what I think of first too with the Green Scapular, and that is that it's a sacramental for conversions.
Yes.
And there's lots of stories. I remember Jim Demers used to talk about it quite a bit.
Yes.
And I think Father No too,
Yes.
About you plant it somewhere, you put it underneath. I know someone who actually, I won't say where, but in a church in New York, they put a Green Scapular under the Novus Ordo table, and they pray every day that the Latin Mass will return to that church.
I
And
see.
they got the scapular working on that, and that's a kind of conversion. So.
Yes, right, sure, sure.
So but the Green Scapular, there's many conversions and miracles, and I think you have a pamphlet about it, don't you?
We have had it on the Green Scapular as well. Certainly, there have been cures and conversions. I'm much more familiar with the Brown Scapular, but certainly there have been, and it certainly is because it's devotion to the Immaculate Heart of Mary, and I think it's a predecessor to Fatima in the sense that, just as on the miraculous medal, which I wear, you have on the back the Immaculate Heart and the Sacred Heart, and you have the idea, and in the Green Scapular is promoting explicitly devotion to the Immaculate Heart of Mary.
Yes. So in a way, it's a precursor to Fatima too.
Yes.
Yes. Okay. So anyway, it's best to wear them both and promote both of them. And thank you for the question. And we will see you all on the next broadcast. Thank you.